Directive to physician. What is a directive to physician? Well, that is the document, and it should not be confused with the other document, which is a do not resuscitate. So often a client will come into me and say, I want to do not resuscitate. And I usually say, I just don't draft those documents. I don't feel comfortable drafting them. I say, go to your doctor and talk to them about it. Do not resuscitate means we can save your life, but we're not gonna do it because you signed a do not resuscitate order, which don't resuscitate me. A directive to physician is different. Now in Texas, we classify it in two ways. Look at your form to find out the language that is used. I try to simplify the language down to this. In Texas, we have two ways: terminal condition and irreversible condition. A terminal condition means and this is the way I explain it. You can read on the form exactly what it says, but this is the way I like to explain it. A terminal condition means you're going to die within 6 months. You can get into all the technicalities. I don't, because your client just can't think that way. I simplify. It means you're going to die within 6 months. The doctor has walked in. You're never going to speak again. You're never going to be able to express your desires, so you get to choose. In Texas, we have two options. Either you can discontinue life-sustaining treatment, or you can keep me alive as long as possible. And then I tell them, initial which one you want. And I point out on the form for them. And then I go to the next question, and that is an irreversible condition. Now, irreversible condition is defined differently than this, but this is the simple way that I classify it so my clients understand. I say, irreversible condition basically means that you're going to live longer than 6 months, but be in some kind of irreversible condition. Also, a common concept that people think about is a vegetated state. And people, okay, I get that, I understand that. I say, do you want them to discontinue life-sustaining treatment? Now, that does not include pain medication. Or do you want to be kept alive as long as possible? And then they initial by what they want. Then we flip over the page, and then I say, you can write in any additional requests that you can have. You can insert a page in here. You can type something out. Most common additional requests, and this is what you need to explain to your client. The most common additional request is, at least in Texas, when they discontinue all life-sustaining treatment, they also discontinue food and water. Some people don't want that. They still want to be fed and hydrated, even though they're in a terminal or irreversible condition. That lengthens out the time, but that's just how they want. You can decide if you want to do that or if you don't want to do that. And I explain that. Write out your wishes. Most people don't write anything. I say it's okay if later on you think about something, write it in there. This document is meant to help the doctor to understand what to do in those situations. And if you do that, then you effectively have drafted a directive to physician. Like I said, you can decide to do not resuscitate, but remember what that means. That means the doctor can save their life, but is not supposed to. That's for people that are in extreme pain. I just don't go into that area. That's not my expertise. I said that's really a medical field, and that's a form that's filled out. So I said the medical profession can handle that. But that is a general concept of a directive to physician. You should always draft a directive to physician, also known as the living will. All right, has nothing to do with the will, but it's kind of a living will in the concept that what is my will with my life? That's how it gets its name. But that's what people will say. I want a living will. Yeah, directive physician. Your state might call it something different, but in Texas we call it a directive to physician.